Who does the shooting?
I do. Scout does. Doc does.
Who are they?
There are various alters that I have.
John is an expert marksman. He was an Army Ranger and sharpshooter. At target practice, his alter personalities take turns shooting. John's personalities have different styles of firing a gun. Scout shoots from one knee.
What is your function in the system?
My function?
Yeah.
I act as the observer, the scout.
How do you help John?
Excuse me?
How do you work with John? How do you help John?
I give him the information he needs from time to time. The information that he's overlooked or has not noticed.
10-4, 0005.
John shares his job as a police officer with several personalities who have different abilities. He switches when different police skills are needed and is always aware of what his other personalities are doing.
When you're out here driving around at night, who does what?
Yeah, it just sort of depends on the situation. Normally, I'm out quite a bit of the time. Oh, come on.
What are we doing?
Pickup truck over here matches something we've been looking for, possibly on a stolen auto.
As John began pursuit, he switched to a personality who is good at driving in high-speed chases.
He's weaving pretty fast, too.
Right. 1019 location. 10-4, 0013.
When the stop was made, there was another switch, and John returned to confront the driver of the truck.
Warning. You know how fast you were going? You don't have any idea? Does your odometer work on here?
Yeah, my flashlight's got burnt.
Flashlight's got burnt out. I paced you at over 75 miles an hour.
Among his fellow officers, John has a good reputation. Lieutenant Pritchard is his commanding officer.
John knows what's going on when he's out there in any given situation. He's able to make decisions on his feet in tough situations and just think really fast.
This is while we were in St. Louis at the training academy. It's my rookie dog and me, the rookie handler. We worked patrol together for 4.5 years. Best partner I ever had, much better than any two-footed partner I ever worked with.
John showed us his scrapbook of 13 years as a police officer. He's had many awards and commendations which began early in his career.
In 1982, I was awarded the Outstanding Officer of the Year award by the JCs, which is an award that's offered every year. Hi.
While he was showing us the scrapbook, John switched to a 10-year-old personality named Johnny.
Hi.
John had trained his dog to stay out of the living room, but when he switched, the dog entered, sensing that his master was no longer present.
Okay, that's John.
Who's John?
He's an adult, and he's a policeman.
The child personality of Johnny recognizes John in the photograph and sees him as a separate person.
Awarded as the...
Johnny read the article from the scrapbook and, like a 10-year-old, had trouble understanding the words.
Enforcement Officer of 1982 by the I don't know. Jakey's?
When John switched back, the dog recognized him and left the room as he had been trained. John has been divorced 3 times and now lives alone. He's had problems with depression and unexplainable mood swings, especially controlling his temper. John used to have a drinking problem, but has been sober for years.
Did you ever go back after him? Was that okay or not?
I tried.
Yeah.
John's therapist is Julie Clark, who has been treating him since his diagnosis.
Push face first, okay?
Several years ago, John began having flashbacks of being abused as a child. He began therapy, and soon after, different personalities began to appear. John was hospitalized with a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress and multiple personality disorder. Since then, personalities with memories of abuse have come forward, like Edward, who remembers being shoved down a staircase.
How many years older was he?
10.
It's a lot of years.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, huh?
No.
The abuse his alter personalities remember was never known by John himself. He has only vague memories of growing up.
My memories of childhood are real limited. It's more like a framework. And I can tell you where I went to school. And maybe a little bit about some of the later grades. Along about 7th and 8th grade, I can fill in some blanks.
What John can remember is a stable home and being well provided for. He also remembers the voices that have always existed inside his mind.
I've always been aware that there were voices, okay, that I spoke with and that spoke to me. But I thought that was subconscious or thoughts or however you want to put it, I'm not real sure. It seemed natural, seemed normal.
The voices John heard were those of his 20 personalities. Many of them are frightened children who appear only in therapy. 5-year-old Hans was tortured with electricity.
Mm-hmm. How did he hurt you, Hans?
Electricity.
Electricity?
Yeah.
Do you remember how he did that? It's okay to say the words here.
With the box.
With the box?
Uh-huh.
Electrical box? Or another kind of box?
The box.
What do you do with the box? You only have to see it for a few minutes. Let yourself see the pictures.
I don't like it.
I know you don't like it. And you know what? It's not happening today. You're here with me in the office.
Hans' cries of pain only encouraged his abusers. Then John would switch to an emotionless personality named Eugene, who did not feel the pain.
How was the electricity applied?
To the body.
How and where?
It was applied by a hand-cranked type generator with wires attached to various locations depending upon what was being used at the time. In general, to the hands and feet, at times to the stomach, at times to the genital area.
John was also sexually abused by both male and female perpetrators, including a priest. He created a personality whose job it was to have sex.
What else did he have you do?
To lick
to lick it? Did you have any feelings when that happened?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
It smelled bad. I didn't like that.
Okay. And you don't have to do that again either.
Oh, over here. Okay.
I don't know, I got curious, so I called. I found out right behind that trash can right there, outside the door. I went to throw something in it, and I seen it. Without thinking, I picked it up. Okay? And then, I brought it here later.
In addition to street patrol, John works on different assignments, like this search for a murder weapon. He also investigates many child abuse cases and has been appointed to a county task force setting standards for their investigations.
It's very obvious that my perpetrators will never be prosecuted. At this stage in my life, there is no physical evidence that would link back to anyone ever having done anything to me at any given point in time in my childhood. There'd be no way to prove it in court of law. At least I'm making a difference, even as small as it is, in the area that I'm in. But there is a difference made. And maybe there's one perpetrator out there that will go to prison and he'll be known, or she'll be known. And maybe that makes a difference in some child or some woman's life. So that's real important to us.